welcome to Suitcase Divas episode 25. So we are officially 6 months old. My name is Denise Diabaldi with Redbirds Travel.
And I'm Cheryl Garcia with ABCD Adventures.
Yeah, so let's go there. Super stoked. We That's just my text message in the background, but don't mind that. Got a lot of congratulations, texts, calls. We're super excited about today. So in this episode, this is our 6-month anniversary episode. We had some of our most supportive listeners. We interviewed them and told that, they told us what they like about the show and things of that nature. And I'm just so proud of how much we've grown, and we've been just doing such amazing things. We're in like 10 countries now, right, Cheryl?
Yes, we have officially done had over
This is my
500
happy
downloads.
dance.
Yes,
Do
so
my
we're
happy dance.
very excited that we're
Cheers. I will drink to that. 10 countries.
yes.
Give us some more stats, Cheryl.
We are in 10 different countries, over 100 cities in the US. We've
Wait, what 10
officially
countries are there?
so
Where
let's
are we at? Give it to me.
the US is our top one. I will say that. The Dominican Republic, Netherlands, thanks John and Anthony.
Yes, thank you guys.
Canada, the UK, Singapore, Aruba, India, Argentina, and Peru. So we're
Nice.
getting out there. I'm so
We're
excited to
everywhere.
see
A little bit
those
everywhere, huh?
things. Yeah.
I'll take it.
And let's see. So we've officially published 26 episodes, even though this is our 25th because this will
Because
be
we
our
had a special with
27th.
Anthony Jefferson, special John Reyna.
Yes.
Yep.
So we will have, after today's episode, 25 regular episodes with 2 specials. So that's so
Nice.
exciting.
Yeah.
What I found interesting, because we did ask our listeners that we interview coming up where they are listening to us at, and 53% of our listeners are on Spotify and 28% are on Apple Music. And then the rest of it's made up through the web, through our links and things like that. But I just thought that was pretty interesting. All the things.
Yeah, and we've been having more people find us on YouTube. And a lot of people have actually said, I love watching you guys on YouTube because you guys are animated, you talk with your hands, we're just silly.
Yeah. And so our YouTube, which I should have pulled the YouTube stats. I did not do that. We talked about it and then we got sidetracked.
No worries. We've had a lot going on in our
defense.
defense.
Yeah. So we've been posting since we've only got the last few episodes that we posted on YouTube because we kind of started that later once we learned more.
As we're learning that
that
is what
and I'm actually behind slightly on getting those uploaded because it's a lot of work, but I will get those uploaded by the end of the weekend so that we're caught up on our
I know you will, Cheryl.
Yeah. But overall, this has been such an amazing adventure. We have had such great support from friends, family, and just the people we've interacted with and grown with on the internet, social media and stuff. So we've met some great people. So it's really exciting. And this was a great episode to record, to talk to 4
of so nice to hear.
listeners.
Yeah.
So here we go.
I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Yeah, so without further ado, here is our first guest.
Welcome, John Knight. And John, tell us, where are you coming from? What part of the United States are you in?
Well, at this particular moment, I am in Southwest Florida. It is a beautiful day outside. It's about 78 degrees.
Jealous.
And I do see blue skies. Yes, that's blue.
Nice. Now you're out on your patio?
I am.
Sweet. And then, so you spend like the winter months per se, or you just bounce back and forth because you have another house outside Chicago, correct?
Yes, we moved between the 2 houses quite randomly, but we're largely here when the snow is there in Chicago. We're here.
Makes sense.
And then we like it here. So we have quite a network of friends here so that we like to stay in touch, and we're able to spend time with them throughout the course of the year, and they with us.
Perfect. That sounds like you're living the dream.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Well, and you have Julie, who is the most amazing wife ever. And I'm sure that she makes that dream come true.
Not only an amazing wife, but a terrific travel partner. That's important.
That is important. 100%. Agreed. All right, Cheryl. So what you got?
So we love that you love to travel as well, because that's what we focus on. Where do you listen to our podcast at? Like on Spotify or iHeartRadio?
I would have to say it's between two. I generally listen to you on Spotify because we do travel, and sometimes we travel by car, and so it's a nice addition to have Suitcase Divas in the car along with
Yay.
us to make us laugh. And the other place I would listen to it would be YouTube if I forget what your faces look like. I plug in and get my video charge.
Yeah,
Oh,
our
that's
facial
awesome.
expressions are pretty fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So what episode would you say do you think that you've heard so far that would maybe a moment or an episode? What do you think your favorite has been so far?
Well, number one, I'm proud of you both. So I
Thank you.
really am happy that you're engaged in all the episodes and continue, and looking forward to hearing many more. But I would say there were two or three that made me laugh out loud, but the one that sticks in my mind the most was episode 19, number 1, the MSC.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an episode.
And part of that was whether you knew it or not, you were building energy through previous shows towards that show. Like, what was it really happening on MSC? Was it a wonderful, tremendous, positive experience, or was there a little bit of a train wreck thrown in there with that wonderful, positive experience? And you didn't tell us.
But we had really high hopes going into that cruise. We really did.
Yeah. And then when we got to episode 19, and the description of the buffet and the bananas,
Yeah.
that was classic history of a successful podcast right there. So
Aw.
I'm gonna have to go with episode 19.
That's
That's
awesome.
a great answer. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a fellow traveler, what is some topics that you think we should cover in the future?
Sorry, that's a motorcycle, but we have a lot of great motorcycles around here. They're kind of loud.
Beautiful day
sometimes.
for
Sorry
it
about
sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say there's an area that Julie and I are very much interested in, and I think as you look at a wider audience, and that would be activity-based vacation destinations. We've been very blessed and fortunate to take a lot of different types of cruises. We've taken large ships, we've taken small ships, we've even taken a private boat for, let me see, that would have been our 35th wedding anniversary. It was just Julie and I on a 62-foot canal boat in Great Britain.
I remember that.
That was quite an experience. But I think that was an adventure. And then more and more that we've gotten involved in riverboat cruises in Europe, and perhaps next year expanding that into Asia and perhaps Vietnam. Those are, yes, there's more people in there without children. So
Gotcha.
it's a tighter audience, but they're very activity based.
Okay.
One in particular that we have grown fond of, which is not a name you may have heard. And I won't say it here unless you ask me to, but I'm not looking to sponsor or anything like that. But you get up at 9 o'clock-ish in the morning, and if you want to go climb a mountain, they've got a mountain for you to climb with an expert. If you want to ride 20 miles through the countryside, the French vineyards in Bordeaux, if you want to go down the Seine River and hike through the monuments in Normandy, that type of activity really appeals to us. We like to learn, we like to be educated, And we're not so focused on weather. And I understand and accept that most people are driven by warm weather vacations on water on a boat, but you can still have a lot of luxury and a lot of laughs while you're climbing a mountain, riding a bike, and do the stuff that we like to do.
Sure.
We're active young adults.
Yeah, you guys are. You
That
guys got it
sounds
going on.
amazing. Yeah. We'll definitely have
so
to dig into that and get some information out there for people.
So now you've piqued my curiosity. Like, I'm familiar with like AMA waterways and Viking river cruises. What cruise line do you prefer? Because we book all of them, so it's not, you're not going to hurt our feelings.
I'm gonna have to say the one that has there's a term that Julie and I use, and we look for it when we're on their line. It's on the waterways, and it's surprise and delight.
Yeah,
they find ways to surprise and delight you. And the ship is small enough. There's only usually 150 customers on the boat per sailing, and they've got a crew of like 50. And when they're not physically working, we're all interacting together. And so during the course of 8-day cruises, you get to know each other in a much, much different space. We've even taken them, and we actually have learned to really enjoy taking them in the way off season, because then there's not 150 people in the boat, and yet all of the, I'll say, the amenities are there, that type of thing, but so are all the expert guides, so are the museums.
Yeah.
Because we have a home in Southwest Florida, we're not so driven by being to the beach.
Sure.
Right.
With a drink in hand, but to be in the Santa Emilion vineyard with the wine expert, and it's his winery, touring historical ruins, that appeals to us. That's on the water.
Awesome.
So when we grow up, we want to be just like you, John.
Yeah.
No, that's a good segue into for your 1-year anniversary.
Right, which is, if you could pick anywhere in the world for us to go to, and we probably won't get it because it's September 1st, but going forward for our 1-year anniversary, where would you suggest that we travel to?
Well, I'd have to say unequivocally Europe, because September is, in our opinion, the best month to be in Europe.
Okay.
And not necessarily the first in September, around mid-September into the first week of October. It's cooler. It's not as crowded because kids are in school, parents are home supporting their kids going to school, not so much leisure travel. And yet all the amazing amenities that are Europe are there. So I would say Europe. And then in particular, I have to say France. There is an area in France that we have had the good fortune to go to a couple times, which is Provence. And there's a specific, the capital of Provence, it's down near the Mediterranean. It's called Aix-en-Provence, AIX.
Okay.
Aix-en-Provence.
I'm writing it down.
It is like you're living in Disney World. But Denise, it is the rosé wine capital of the world.
You got me, John. I'm
Yeah.
feeling it. I'm already looking into it.
Yeah, my wife and I are very much into wines. And one of the great things about our marriage is that she is into red wines, I am into white wines. And in Aix-en-Provence, we're able to meet on the rosés.
Nice.
Aw, that's
Rosé.
awesome.
I love a nice rosé too.
Yeah.
Cheryl's
and
my
most
work wife, and she likes the sweet wine.
White.
I like the bold red. So
Yep.
we're each other's yin and yang
Yeah,
as well.
that's great.
So
But I have a second place, which is also, it's in the Bordeaux region of France. So if you fly into Paris, they have the most marvelous train system, high-speed train system. So you have, I would say for most Americans, the novelty of riding on world-class rail.
Yeah.
Over into distances that at a very reasonable price if you book in advance, to these incredible destinations. But in the Bordeaux region, there is an area called Arcachon.
Okay.
And Arcachon is, it's a seaside town. It's a bit like Cape May, New Jersey on the most incredible steroids.
Oh, that
Okay.
sounds amazing.
And it has the largest sand dunes on the continent of Europe, and just beautiful weather. But it's also Bordeaux. So your red wines are the Saint-Emilions, the different vineyards that
Yes.
cater to that are in that area. And both of those are easily reached in, again, using public transportation or by booking a riverboat cruise where you have all the
But I bet
refinement on the
they have
riverboat.
amazing cheese there too. I need to
Oh,
step up my cheese game.
Yes.
We both do.
and don't forget the butter.
Yes.
So that means croissants and all that goes, excuse me, with that. But anyway, that's where I think you should be planning your September trip.
Ooh,
That sounds
sounds
amazing.
fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you picked one destination, either Arcachon or Aix-en-Provence, just one of them, you will certainly not serve yourself poorly.
Well, that is amazing. And I appreciate you taking the time out to spend a little bit of time with us to go over these questions. And I love that you are a huge fan, and really, really appreciate your time today.
Yes.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
To continued success way past the first week of September.
Cheers. I'll drink to
Thank
that.
you.
I do have a mimosa in
Yeah.
hand.
All
So
right.
all right, awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy your beautiful 78-degree weather day. Is it going to get hotter than that though? Because that's Florida. You usually are going to hang out in the 80s, right?
No, it's not going to get in the 80s today. No, we
Ooh.
haven't had, it's been a little cooler. It's been a little cooler, but
So that's kind of perfect because
Yeah,
you can
that's
get
the
out and
perfect
bike or walk
temperature.
and you're not sweaty. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
yeah, we're not here by accident.
Yeah, well, you clearly know your destinations and what's good and what's not good. So very much a seasoned pro.
All right, thank you. Right now we have Shannon Starr with us, one of our very first listeners, and one of our biggest supporters. So thank you, Shannon, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I want to tell you guys how much I love you because I'm out of my pajamas and it's before 12 o'clock. I actually got cleaned up.
We do appreciate the effort. Is
Yeah.
not wasted on you. Yeah.
Right, a Saturday
you're
morning, you're up and dressed early. Yeah, appreciate that. So what part of the country are you coming to us from, Shannon?
I moved to North Carolina in 2007. I am originally from Prince George's County, Maryland. Shout out to the DMV.
Nice.
We call it the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Nice.
From there, I went to college in Virginia, lived in Virginia for a few years, moved to Portland, Oregon, where I lived with my husband and my children for 10 years. And then we came to Charlotte in 2007.
And Portland, Oregon's a beautiful part of the country, correct?
I recommend every American see the Pacific Northwest at some point in their lives. It is gorgeous.
I
And
didn't
not just
realize.
because of Twilight.
Yeah.
People don't realize this, but not all of the Pacific Northwest is rainforest. My favorite place in Oregon actually is Bend, which is high desert. And
Oh.
I used to go skiing there. And if you're outdoorsy at all, if you like to fly fish, if you like to mountain bike or do anything outdoorsy, Bend has probably more sun than just about anywhere else in Oregon. And we loved Bend. We would vacation there pretty frequently.
You know what is interesting? I do believe that Uncle John, well, I call him Uncle John because he's, my uncle. Our last favorite guest also spent like 10 years or so in Portland, Oregon, lived there. You guys would get along so well.
We'd have a lot to
jazzy
talk
guy.
about.
Yes, you would.
It's a different kind of place, and I really loved it when we lived there.
And I didn't realize y'all lived there for 10 years. That's a long
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we quit our jobs in Virginia. We were living in the Shenandoah Valley in Harrisonburg. We got a wild hair. We quit our jobs and sold everything that we could. We towed my car on the back of a U-Haul, and we just moved there.
So that's
hoping
adventurous.
it would all work
Yeah.
out.
That's
And along the
amazing.
way, we saw the Grand Canyon because it was just on our route.
That should
Oh,
be on
that's
everybody's bucket
awesome.
list for sure. Okay, so we've got a lot of platforms out there. What would you say you most often listen to us, like Spotify, iHeartRadio,
It's
YouTube? What
Spotify.
would you say?
I listen to
Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah, and that's you said you did mention while you're commuting to work. That's typically when you listen to us.
Yes.
Got you.
Awesome.
Got you. We appreciate it.
So while you're listening to us and you're thinking about our episodes, what would you say is like your most memorable or your favorite episode that we've had so far?
I liked the one you all did about the go bag.
Ah,
Oh,
the go bag.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because it actually made me think about some things that I did not used to think about, making sure
Like the
that I had with me
apocalypse.
at all times. Yeah. Or just I feel like travel has become so unpredictable that you kind of have to plan. You
Be
have to
prepared.
plan, and be prepared. And I didn't
Yes.
even realize how much you had to be prepared for.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a kind of a big wake up moment for me too, because in that particular episode, it was very much so that Cheryl was the most prepared and I clearly fucking was very underprepared. So I will say I have gotten better about that. I absolutely have toothbrush and panties and all that good stuff in my bag.
Right.
Yeah.
It needs to be accessible because so many people end up just sleeping on the floor at the airport unexpectedly, and you don't know how long you're going to be there.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we know that your favorite episode. Is there something that we haven't covered yet that you think that potentially would be an amazing episode?
Yes, I did think about this because I got the questions ahead of time. And um, as you know, because you sent us on our family trip last year
Yep.
to visit our daughter who was studying in Wales for the
Yes.
semester, and we met up with her at the end of her term and we had a family vacation. So I think there are so many students who are doing study abroad that it would be a great opportunity to just focus on cities where that is popular, safety for these young people who are probably
Yeah.
traveling by themselves for the first
Mhm.
time,
Right.
and
Yep.
there's some good tips for that. And also great places for them to not only study, but places for them to visit while they are in another part of the world on a
Abroad.
budget,
Yeah.
traveling on a budget.
I
So,
think that's a great idea.
our daughter studied in Wales, but she had a nice long 3-week Easter break. And she took that opportunity to buy some cheap plane tickets, and she visited Brussels and Amsterdam and Paris
Sweet.
and Dublin. And she needed to do that all on a budget because we were not going to pay for that. That was something she had to save up for. So I think that would be a great episode for you guys.
That is such a great
Indeed.
idea and a great
I
topic.
agree.
Yeah.
And it sounds like we have Shelby could be somebody that we interview and
You
she could be
could,
on
you
our
absolutely
podcast.
could. She could tell you all about all the sheep that she saw in Wales because there are more sheep than people. But she just loved her experience her whole semester. She just loved her experience.
That's awesome. So talking about awesome destinations, our 1-year anniversary is coming up in September.
Coming
If you could
up,
send us
September
anywhere in
1st.
the world, where would you recommend we celebrate our 1-year anniversary?
Well, because I would have to live vicariously through you, I would send you, well, if you had to go right at your 1-year anniversary, I would send you to Greece because that is probably my number one place that I want to visit.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But if you could wait and celebrate your 1-year anniversary about 6 months later, so it would be an 18-month anniversary, I would send you to Carnival in Brazil.
Ooh.
That's awesome and very
Those are
unique.
great
Yeah.
answers. Yeah, and I want to go to all of the places, so you don't have to
Right.
twist my arm. I'll go to Greece. I'll go to Carnival. I'll do all the good things. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Right. And who knows? Maybe we'll get awesome deals and you can tag along and it not have to be vicariously through us. You can be
Yeah,
the
Okay.
we did talk about doing a cruise, like a group cruise. That might be on our list too. But I love your suggestions as well. Very, very,
Yeah.
very good.
I love hearing where other people think we should go because it's sometimes not what we think of. Like we all have our own little spots we want to go, and this opens our eyes to other places that we can visit. So, thank you
Absolutely.
so much for taking
Thank
the
you,
time and
Shannon.
all your support that you give us for our podcast. We appreciate you.
We surely do.
Much love to
Yeah.
you guys.
Love, love, love you. Awesome. So welcome, welcome. We are working on our 6-month anniversary episode. So our next guest is Julie Shaw. Julie works with us in the travel agency business. So Julie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hi. Thank you for having me. First off, I'm so honored to be a guest. I am a stay-at-home mom slash travel agent, business owner, avid, passionate traveler.
Nice, nice.
So, where are
Now,
you currently at? Tell us where you're calling in from.
yeah,
Well, I am from the Midwest. I reside in Indiana, a little town called Bargersville, which is south of the big city Indianapolis. I live in a little country
sweet.
kind of area.
Nice, nice. Now, we are on all kinds of platforms, and so would you say, what do you listen to us most on? Is it like, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube? Where do you catch us at?
So far, my go-tos have been Spotify and YouTube. I think I prefer YouTube just because I can see your faces, and I love you two so much. And seeing you two interact is even more fun than just listening. But so yeah, I think I'm
Aw.
probably more a YouTube girl than anything.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've
that's
been hearing
awesome.
that. We have been hearing that. And I mean, you can't
Surprise me.
deny our facial expressions and our
Yes,
silliness. You can get the full effect on the YouTube channel.
that's for sure.
So talking
So
about our episodes, what would you say, or what's the episode or moment that pops in your mind when you think of all the ones we've done so far?
Several that I really have enjoyed. I mean, like I said before, you guys crack me up. So whatever episode it is, I always find myself smiling and laughing and just really enjoying listening to you ladies. But I would say probably so far has been the cruise, the MSC cruise, like hearing about that stuff. I'm guessing that that's a popular answer
it
Yes.
also.
it is.
It might be a tie between that and white girl cheese, but definitely. But you definitely have me on
Fair
my
enough.
toes about the cruise for sure. I couldn't wait to hear more.
Yeah,
That's
that was
awesome.
quite an adventure. Yeah, yeah. So, if you're thinking about all the ones that you really enjoyed, is there a topic maybe that we haven't covered yet that you think would be good material for a podcast episode?
I have to admit that I haven't heard every single episode, so I don't know if you've hit this yet or not, but I'm wondering if you haven't, maybe something about the Mile High Club and people that have been a part of that, experienced that, stories from that. I think that could be really interesting. I would love to hear more about that.
That's a good
Yes,
one.
that is a good one. However, I would say we are actually working on some Suitcase Divas After Dark content, and
Oh, perfect.
we haven't launched that yet, but it's in the talks, it's in the works, because sometimes we can be a little bit extra. I mean, we do warn people, if you're driving in the car and you have children, you probably want to turn us down, or we tried to
Headphones
give, because
in.
I'm such a pirate, and we try to make it so give fair warning, so that while I think it is excellent content, that may have to be on the After Dark. But I love the concept. I love the idea.
Well, wherever you fit it in, you let me know. I definitely want to catch that episode for sure.
Ooh. And the question is, would you be a contender to be on that podcast episode?
Oh, well, we may just have to talk about that after dark,
Oh,
Denise.
so that's a stay tuned listeners kind of moment, huh?
Yeah. So Julie
I don't
is a
know.
wild card.
maybe in my dreams and my fantasies, but those bathrooms, they're so small. I can barely go to the bathroom, let alone go in there with somebody else. So unfortunately, no, but I
Well,
think
you've
like
just
maybe
been
the
on
older
commercial
generation.
flights, you've only
Yeah,
been on
well,
commercial flights, so we don't know what,
that is true.
the private luxury. Maybe our bougie friend Alicia could hook us up
Oh, that's
on
a good
a
one.
private jet.
For sure, for sure.
So we will absolutely have to follow up on your Mile High status.
We're gonna work on that.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on the episode and your status, indeed.
Goals, if nothing else.
Indeed. Agreed.
So on September, we celebrate our 1 year anniversary for the podcast,
Yep,
which we're
yep.
very excited about. If you could send us anywhere,
Yay!
if you could send us anywhere to celebrate, where would you think we should go to celebrate our anniversary?
Oh man, that's tough because there's just so many beautiful places. I think
So
you would have
many.
a blast. But honestly, when I think about that, my initial thought is Greece. Why not go to the Greek islands, ladies? I think you would be perfect there.
Oh, that's an
Yeah.
awesome one. Yeah.
I'm game for that. Yeah.
I can totally
Absolutely.
see you both on the beaches in your bikinis, just living the life over there, you know?
And what is it? The floating dress. Have you guys heard about the floating dress?
The
It's where you
floating
get on the
dress?
beach and it's like this beautiful dress that has like a real thin layer of like satin or not even satin or silk. It's just sheer. And then the wind catches it and you're over the ocean and they're just make for gorgeous photos. So I would
Oh,
have
I
to,
love that. That
yeah,
would be perfect.
I'd have to be down with that as a photo shoot for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's a must.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Well, is there anything else that you want to add or anything else that you want to tell us about, the podcast?
Hey, well, now I feel on the spot about that one. I don't know. Not necessarily.
Yeah, you don't have to have
I mean,
anything.
I guess well, you know what I do? I do want to say that I love you both. I admire you. I love what you're doing with the podcast. I love that, you went from talking about me and Cheryl want to do this podcast to doing it and doing it big. So, I love your growth. I love your success. I'm so excited for the both of you. I am
Yay.
totally a fangirl. I am totally someone who believes that you will absolutely make it big and hit all your goals and, really be big in this industry. So
Yay.
definitely a big supporter and a fan of you both.
Thank you,
Oh,
Julie.
thank
We love
you.
you.
I love
We appreciate
you.
all your support and thank you so much for
I
joining.
wish that worked for me, but
Yeah,
I know.
I can
I
get
don't
that
have
to
I
work.
don't have a MacBook, but just imagine
one
little
of these
hearts,
days.
little hearts emerging from my fingertips. That's right. Good job.
Oh, thank you. I love you.
We love you too. Let's go there. So we are on to our next guest. And this is Alicia. How do you say your last name, Alicia? Because I always feel like I'm gonna slaughter it.
Mauer.
Mauer. There you have it.
Yep.
Alicia
It's like
Mauer.
a silent. It's like the first R. The first R is silent. Because a lot of
Yeah.
people want to spell it Mauer.
Right, right, right.
Mauer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Alicia is a jack of many trades, also a fellow travel agent. And we spend a lot of time together on trainings and all that good stuff. So I will ask you this, Alicia. So you listen to our podcast. What part of the country are you from?
Northwest Iowa.
Northwest Iowa. And it's pretty cold out there right now this time of year?
Well, normally.
But
Today's
you're in a
55.
heat wave.
We are
A
in a
balmy
heat wave.
55 today.
Balmy 55 today.
I love it. But I was just on the phone with you last week and it was snowing and I saw snow piles.
Yes, those are all gone now.
So that's how you roll over there. Well,
Yeah. Welcome to Iowa, where the weather and the women are unpredictable.
I like it. I like that a lot.
So we are so grateful that you are a listener to our podcast. What's your favorite platform to listen to us on? Because we're trying to figure out where everybody goes.
I go to iTunes. I mean, we already have iTunes, so I have the podcast
Awesome.
thing through there. So that's where I listen.
And you typically listen on a commute while you're commuting?
Yep.
Cool beans. Cool beans.
Sorry, guys. I wish I had more time for that.
No, we're just
You're my favorite commute people to listen to. I
Aw,
can't wait
thank
every
you.
week that I have to drive to Des Moines. I just can't wait to listen to your new episodes.
Aw, that is
Thank
very
you.
sweet. Very sweet. So what would you say thus far has been your favorite episode or moment that we've had on the podcast?
Oh gosh, there's so many good ones. I really liked listening to you guys talk about the drama on your cruise just because I always like a
Yeah.
good soap opera.
Well,
Like a 1980s soap opera.
it was an adventure. It surely was.
But I really like the video you posted yesterday maybe about the cheese.
We're getting a lot
I'm
of
I'm a corn-fed gal from Northwest Iowa. I like a little cheese with stuff. A lot of cheese.
So
Yeah,
what's your
cheese is
favorite
good.
cheese?
I like what were you calling it? The Havarti.
Pavarotti, yeah.
I've already,
I
yeah,
like a
that's
good creamy Havarti. I really like brie. I
Okay.
really like brie
Yeah.
when it's like inside of like puff pastry, like melted.
Hmm.
I also
I
like
actually have a really good
brie.
recipe with brie, and it's got like a raspberry jelly, and then you put it in like croissant, and it's like a little crispy, and then you have like crackers and stuff. I'll have to share that recipe with you.
There's a restaurant at our uh, lakes area that we go to in the summertime. And they take a whole block of brie and they cover it in honey and then they roll it in chopped pistachios. Then they
Ooh.
wrap it in the fryer and then they put their homemade raspberry glaze on top of it and serve it with like fruit and crackers.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
Oh,
That sounds
oh,
amazing
yes.
balls.
well, I try to go there like only once a month because it's a little on the spendy side, but
Wow.
we like to
That
go there
Well,
sounds
just so we can get the
awesome.
brie.
listen, we could friggin' do that. We could just replicate it, right? We get an air fryer.
I've tried so many times, but I think
No,
what I
fry daddy. Thank you.
finally learned is I think they freeze it. So I think they take the cheese, they put the honey on it, then the nuts, then they freeze it solid. And when it's frozen solid, they drop it in the oil. And that's how it doesn't melt. Because I've tried to replicate and it's failed miserably every time.
Oh,
But did it still taste good? And just or no,
Yeah, it
it
just
didn't
wasn't
come
the same.
together at all?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
because it like all melts and comes out and the nuts burn and nobody likes burnt nuts, you know.
I have to agree
You
with you there.
know,
Just
it
saying.
tastes funny and
I
Yeah.
hear that.
So we've covered quite a few topics
Mm.
in our 6 months. Is there a topic that you think we should cover that we haven't touched base on yet?
Oh gosh, you guys have done so many good episodes. Talked about so many good things.
We try. We try to be relevant and trendy.
Gosh, I'd have to think about that. I should have thought about that before today.
Well, that's okay.
Really,
I mean, you can always get back to us if you don't if you're not if it's
maybe
not
you should
rolling
do
off the tip of your tongue.
do like a wine and cheese pairing night.
Oh,
Or like get a bunch
yeah.
of bottles of wine, figure out what kind of cheese and stuff they pair with, do like a wine and cheese and grapes
Yeah, and we could even do a
tasting.
cheese pronunciation part of the evening with that.
Your way and my way.
I know that's not it's not travel related, but it would
Well, if
still
you
be
talk
cool.
about where they're from, because wine, grapes from
Oh,
different
yes.
parts of the world are very different.
Yes.
Same as with your cheeses. So that could be absolutely relevant. Yeah.
I think, and
Yeah.
don't even twist my arm.
I know. You've
have
got
a-
our two
to
favorite
have a
things, wine and
wine.
cheese.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
I don't know if there's anything better out than wine and cheese.
I don't know. I would have to agree. That's my bag. I
I'll
really
take all
enjoy
the
that.
wine. I'll take all the cheese, all the
Yes.
things.
Same, girl, same.
Keep them coming. I'm the gal at Olive Garden where they shred the cheese and they're waiting for you to say stop. And then you have like a mountain of cheese and then they're still standing there waiting, grating it.
And there's no more cheese in the grater.
Like, well, I guess you can stop now since you ran out. Such a shame.
My cheese avalanche. All right. Well, fair enough. You're a girl after my
That's
own
funny.
heart. Definitely love the wine and the cheese. So we have a 1 year anniversary coming up in September. If you had to choose anywhere for us to go in the world for our 1 year anniversary, what would you choose?
I think I would send you guys to maybe like an overwater bungalow in the Maldives or Bora
Oh.
Bora.
Mhm.
Like, think of
Yes,
what a pretty
honey.
backdrop that would be for a podcast,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
you know?
That would be fabulous. And those are all on my bucket list. So that sounds amazing.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Because the Eiffel Tower would be a pretty good backdrop too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we just need
Yeah.
to have a girls' trip to, Maldives.
I am down.
Yeah.
We
I've
never
got-
turned down a trip.
Yes, that's right. That's right. We absolutely would take a girls' trip to the Maldives for sure.
Well, thank you so much for being an awesome supporter and joining us today for this interview. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Or
And we will have many, many more
There
fun
goes
times
the
ahead.
horse.
The heart
No.
of
Did you just hear my stomach? Did you hear? Oh my God.
No.
I was like, just as we had a great ending and that was a great cutoff, I really hope the microphone didn't pick that up.
I
Good
don't, I
Lord.
definitely didn't hear it here.
Where did the record button go? Did I stop recording? It's not on my. Tell me this recorded. Oh, it does say recording up here, but all right, let me hit this.